Imagine only having 3 events a year to make a pitch on a project you believe in. Imagine that same pitch determines whether or not your studio is going to have work for the year. Imagine pitching a Battle Royale type game in the midst of one of the most saturated markets in gaming. Imagine that everyone loved your game, that it even goes on to break PlayStation Plus's download record on a global scale. Just imagine. By now, I'm sure that everyone and their grandma has heard of Fall Guys. These cute and absolutely adorable jelly beans running around on an obstacle course competing for a golden crown. A very simple premise, almost too simple, and yet these aforementioned beans have offered us something to genuinely smile about. It's almost as if this game came out exactly when it needed to. So how did Fall Guys get to be this absolute phenomenon? What went into creating it? That's what I want to discuss in this video. I've mentioned before how I personally stay away from the Battle Royale genre. I understand each game in that category work differently and each have their own unique spin on it. PUBG started the Battle Royale craze, even if some games did implement something similar before it. Fortnite has its own absurd building that gives me nothing but a headache to watch now. And Warzone is just Call of Duty, a series that refuses to die out even when the gameplay becomes stale. But hey, it's Call of Duty, so it just makes sense to add a Battle Royale mode and call it a day, right? I by no means want to discredit the success of those games, and if you enjoy them, that's great. I know Call of Duty Cold War has my interest, even if I have no idea why I continue to buy it. But it always comes down to who is doing it better than the rest, who can stand out amongst the bullets, spray and pray, and give us a breath of fresh air. Enter Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. While working on a completely different project, Joe Walsh, lead game designer, hands Jeff Tanton, the game director of Mediatonic, a game page document titled Fool's Gauntlet. I read this once before in a previous video, so here's me from a few weeks ago rereading it back to you. It's you and 99 others versus the Fool's Gauntlet and each other. Climb walls, swing across chasms, and screw over your comrades in a clumsy dash for the finish line and ultimate glory. You die, you lose. Too slow, you lose. Another player knocks you off the tightrope, too bad, game over. Victorious players share the 1 million gold prize pool, so that few players that finish, the bigger their reward. But if nobody beats the gauntlet, you all walk away empty-handed. As players reach the final rounds, the gameplay shifts from teamwork to backstabbing as players whittle out the weak and assemble a skeleton team of the best performing players for the final challenge. Fool's Gauntlet is a premium title aimed at the PC and console market. At first glance, the original pitch for the game is a lot more brutal when it comes to punishing players. On top of that, the game encouraged backstabbing other people in order to come out on top. So those people that grab you and prevent you from reaching the end are justified. But again, don't be mean about it, especially in Slime Climb, because I already struggle enough to even make it to the top. Anyways, I digress. The game was heavily inspired by Takashi's Castle, which ran from May 2nd, 1986 through October 1990. And another show called It's a Knockout, which ran from August 7th, 1966 through January 6, 2001. Both shows have the same premise. Contestants go head to head in daunting physical challenges through obstacles. There was something special in It's a Knockout though that stood out to Mediatonic. The fact that contestants dress in goofy outfits. Most of the time they don large foam rubber suits, which made it hard to move properly, let alone go through each obstacle course. See where this is going? Mediatonic wanted the contestants of their games to share those similar elements and design them to be uniquely bad, which is why they gave them some stubby legs and large arms. Not only that, but they're bouncy as well, so no matter how many times they fall, they'll get right back up. That's why they're called Fall Guys. Apparently these Fall Guys have a knack for competition. It is in their nature, which is why they're more than happy to fumble for our amusement. The added cameras along each course are there to give it that game show feel. Every second is being recorded. That way, whomever is watching in this universe doesn't miss a single hilarious second of the show. We'll talk about these beans more in just a moment because there was a whole other layer to their design. Both Jeff and Joe were so excited about the game that it only took them 1 day to come up with a pitch for it. Even though the ideas were there, the visualization of those ideas had to be brought to life. Enter Dan Huang, principal concept artist of the whole game, who, in Jeff's own words, very quickly produced our proto-game characters and colorful obstacle courses in the clouds. It instantly looked fun, clean, and understandable. Pitch Dark images have to do a good job of not only making the game look appealing, but also instill that urge inside of you to make you want to play the game. I think it's safe to assume that the images did just that. But the course wasn't the only protagonist of this game. The game is called Fall Guys after all. This was when the beans were first introduced, especially this one right here, a green capsule shape with heart boxers. The design for the beans were based on a Kid Robot Yeti Guy vinyl figure Joe actually found in the studio. This served as the basis for the design of the Fall Guys. The obstacle course couldn't be left untouched either, and if you're wondering why everything looks so good enough to eat that is, it's because Rob Jackson, another lead artist at Mediatonic, gave the course a color palette directly influenced by candy and sweet treats. The game was coming together, and as you already know, after pitching to multiple publishers, sometimes in hotels or hotel bars, Developer Digital was the one who chose to back this project up, and I'm sure the other 9 are wishing they would have. The team finally having a close to finished product showed up at pack shows around the world before a global lockdown to showcase the game, but even here the success of Fall Guys was unknown. Fast forward to its release and its partnership with Sony, who released the game for free for its PlayStation Plus users, and the game was more than a success. I can only imagine the pressure a studio feels before the release of their game. Will people love it or will they hate it? Exceeding expectations, surpassing any sort of goals that were premeditated, and overall capturing the game spirit inside all of us. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockdown set out to prove that sometimes simple is better. Maybe you can break the mold and game genres can still be reinvented no matter how saturated they might be. The game at this point in time is a month old. Whether it's gonna grow old quick depends on what Mediatonic chooses to do. And with Season 2 just on the horizon, I can at least say that they seem to be heading in the right direction, but only time will tell. Meanwhile, I'll just keep on rooting for the Fall Guys to just keep on getting back up.